And welcome back into Open Line. I'm Chuck Long here with you, along with Kevin Kennedy, our special guest, the legal expert, one of the best attorneys in the state of Tennessee, answering your questions. We've had a lot of you calling in tonight, some great questions. We really appreciate those. If you do have a question or a concern, make sure you give us a call on that number that's on your screen right there, 737-7587. We'll get to as many questions as we can in the time that's remaining on the show. Kevin, like I said, we've had a lot of topics that have been coming in. One of the things, though, that I wanted to talk, kind of shifting gears, people often look at taking on what they call the big guy. Yeah. Whether, you just lost your job and you're trying to fight the corporation that you lost a job from. Whether or not you're trying to take on the hospital about a big dispute that you have, or the insurance companies. What is your best advice if you feel like you've been wronged? I mean, and I know you always say start doing your homework, as quickly as you can.
Well, I like a portfolio. What is a portfolio? Here's my bills. I'll get some of these little books from Walmart, and they've got a sleeve that you can slide things in, and I hold my documentation. If there are gaps, what you really need, you'll learn from a skilled lawyer, you're going to lay out the road map. This is what my cause is. This is my main point. These are my 3 points, and this is my conclusion. It's still all part of the art of persuasion, and then once I have that, work your way up the chain. And if there's flaws that come out, we'll try to correct it. And you know what the best thing is when you're with your lawyer? Your best thing is to help prepare you. So, well, I didn't want to do all that work. I want my lawyer to do it. You're most effective when you and he become a team together. Let him be the quarterback and we work together. Then we all come out a winner. So that's great advice. That's a good place to start. It has been a winning formula my entire life. Everybody says, Kev, how'd you win? It's been a winning formula my entire life. It'll work in law. It'll work in politics. I'll say this. My wife was up to get Tennessee Principal of the Year. No one had ever won it at that time from our hometown. I said, put together a report. She said, Kevin, the rules don't say you. I said, I don't care what the rules said. It didn't say you couldn't do it. I said, do it. We prepared it, and it was beautiful. And she got up there. The top candidates were magnificent. A song. Any one of them could have won. When she goes in, there were 6. She came out. I said, did they take the portfolio? She said, they did. We didn't know if they'd take it or not. I said, you're in the top 2. Rhonda ultimately won. You say, was she smart? Sure. Was she talented? Yeah. But those other 6,000 principals are out there too. But it was the portfolio that has won so many of my cases, both in, some people call it a trial notebook, I call it a portfolio, and it'll be effective.
Let's go in that extra step. So, great story.
It's the difference between a B and an A.
Yep.
You want an A lawyer, you want a B lawyer, you want a C lawyer, you get by, you don't even have to have a notebook.
Good to know. I like that. All right, let's go back to the lines right now. Errol is on the line with us. Errol, good evening. We're glad that you're joining us. Do you have a question for Kevin?
Yes, I do. This is concerning a death, and I believe I'm an heir on something, okay. And I never saw the will, so I was wondering what avenue I need to take on finding out. Okay,
first off, in your county, if they passed away, you can go to the Chancery Court or a probate court, whichever they have, and give them their name, and they can run it through their database. Was there ever a will published? If it wasn't, did anybody ever open the estate? Just open it up. And if it was, they'll know. Ask for a copy of the petition and see if it's correct. If it says there's only 2 kids, you say, wait a minute, I was a kid. Then you could file to correct it. Once that estate is open, the time is run, and the final order goes down, you're going to have to appeal it, and after 30 days, it's final, unless there was fraud. You probably could reopen within a year if there was fraud or mistake.
So, Errol, thanks for calling in on that question. We appreciate that. So let's kind of stay on the topic of wills. What if somebody, because again, this is something that's happened to a friend of mine fairly recently, but their dad remarried after the mom died.
Yeah.
Dad remarried. Dad already had them all in the will. He remarries. Then suddenly the will changes a lot.
Come on. Chuck, you're in my office all the time. That's what's happening.
I mean, okay, and they want to contest the will.
Yeah.
So can you do that, or once he changes it, that's
Oh, no.
cut and dried?
No. You know, people manipulate. They call it undue influence. and you know, the new wife, new life. Then you worked all these years, and all of a sudden, all the family assets went to the new wife's family. A man needs to keep his mind dry. I've seen some arguments. We have some going on right now with the very thing that you're saying. And we go back to what I said, that good understanding keeps down a misunderstanding. Did you know in the state of Tennessee, even if you can write a will today, tomorrow you can write another one, revoke the first one. I like Chuck today, I don't like him tomorrow. And but a wife is still entitled to a child's portion, or 1/3. So I said, well, I was going to leave my wife a farm. They said, well, you had 10 farms. Well, guess what? She said, I'm not just taking one. She'll file for the exemption and want her third. And he said, well, I wanted my children to have that. Get the will done. Your man knows what to do, how to do, and trust him.
And if the kids at that point say, but I want to still contest this because I have it in writing someplace where my father had talked about leaving me this land.
Come on, then you're my man. Let's go. We'll go file the will. Sure. And we file a will contest. And what is some good evidence? If everybody heard my daddy say, this is theirs, I intend to do this, and on their deathbed, under medication or whatever, and Alzheimer's, dementia got in, and we've got some document. We prove those cases. The squeaky door is going to get the oil. If you do nothing, you get nothing.
All right, Kevin, I'm going to ask you something that we were talking about last time that you were here, and then we saw it play out. But so we're going back to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard
Yes.
case. Okay, so he basically wins that situation.
We agree.
And the situation that she was arguing was that basically that social media had so much to do with the fact that he was just more popular, and people, because of that, it weighed the court, and they went that way. Are we in a society now where social media can actually have that much influence?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. They also told us when we were at this trial that celebrities are more believable than well, that's kind of what we had. The awestruck of Johnny Depp, his celebrity status, well, and then social media, it was a part of it. Is he believable? Well, a man that could achieve his success, is he not believable? So there's a lot of good argument. What is the power of persuasion? And if you've been a crook your whole life, guess what? Somebody's going to know it. Your life is an open book, Chuck. We could go out here and we're going to know, was he a man of integrity? Or was he a con? And the people that have known you for years, they already know the answer. And that's why it's important to live your life as good as you can. And try to always be a person of your word. Character still matters. It matters most in the court system. And quite frankly, you can bring me a man of character, and we are marching through those doors.
Well, Kevin,
that
leads me right into this. We've just got about a minute left, but I always like to, at the end of the show, get what's on your mind, what's on your heart tonight. What are you thinking?
Well, I wanted to share with everyone these 3 principles that when I was, not everybody gets to be around the smartest lawyers in the nation. I was there in Houston. What did I take away? They were talking about the powers of persuasion. And skilled lawyers, that's what we invest in. And it was very simple. They said, have the roadmap. I'm going to show this, this, and this. I'll have an intro, 3 points, and a conclusion. I've been brainwashed this week, and I'm going back to teach all my lawyers, and we may work on it a month. And so that's what, it gets back to simple persuasion. If I was going to sell you a car, here's my intro, here's the 3 good points. They also said this, you're more persuasive if you say both sides of the argument, because let's address our weaknesses. And then when it's all said and done, I'll come in for the close. The people who studied me over the years always said, Kevin, your closing arguments was really your most effective. All right. And I think I was born with that.
I think so. So, Kevin, again, always appreciate your knowledge and your wisdom. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll tell you how you can get in touch with the Kennedy Law Firm.